There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different levels of Apple storage. Perhaps you've been just looking at the storage on Apple's website internally and you realize it's very expensive. Did you know that there are other options? And in this video, I'm not just going to introduce you to the other options, but I'm also going to show you the differences, talk about the speeds, show you the speeds, and then talk about also some of the downsides and how you can protect your data. Let's get into it. What I'm going to start with is this level 8. I'm going to take it outside the frame and actually plug it in. So when we get to level 8, it's ready for us to check it out. So number 1 level, hard drives. You just get a hard drive, external hard drive, you plug it into your Mac, and then you're gonna get speeds roughly around 100 to 300 megabytes per second at absolute maximum. Now, here's the thing with hard drives. They're big, they're chunky, they make some noise, and they're very, very slow. In fact, they're so slow that I'm not even going to show you the speeds because it's just a little bit of a waste of time, and you know how this works. The good side about level 1 storage is that it's very, very affordable. And some of these actually are worth in the higher up storage. So don't write this off, but if you just single-handedly use only the hard drive, that's probably not recommended and very low level 1 storage. Moving on to level number 2, which is this over here. This is a lot more smaller now, as you can see, a lot more portable. You can put it in, and this is an enclosure for 2.5-inch drives. If I open this up, I've got a Samsung SSD in here. It's very, very simple. You can buy this off Amazon if you want to pick any of these up. I'm gonna leave that link in the description below. All you do is just pop it in there, close the lid, and then let's test the actual speeds. A USB-C cable, plug into our Mac. It already says, would you like to connect? I'm gonna say yes. Let's take a look. There we go. It's come up on the side here. So if we go information about this disk, it is 500 gigabytes in storage and around 490 is available. So let's take a look at activity monitor. Here, there on the bottom, we can see the speeds, but I've got here, and then I've got desktop. I've got some test files in here. We're gonna take these and we wanna copy them into here. It's on a Windows format, so it doesn't actually let me write anything on it, but we can sort it because I don't actually need any space in there. What we're gonna do is disk utility, tech notice, edit to. We're gonna erase it. Just gonna call it Samsung drive. If you want this drive to be accessed on both Windows and Mac, go with the exFAT. If you want to go with Mac, then I highly recommend going journaled, Mac OS extended journaled. So in this case, since it's all Mac, we're just going to go the journaled one. We're going to press erase. Boom, it is done. Okay, we're going to copy the same files. We're gonna go to our Samsung drive here on the side. We're gonna press paste. And as you can see, we're writing around, well, that went fast, didn't it? I gotta take some more files. Take the whole lot. As you can see, we're writing around 440 megabytes per second. And around 500 megabytes per second, that is what this level 2 is the maximum read and write speed. For most people, that might be enough for you. And the thing is, you can use hard drives in there as well if you wanted to, but it's a significant improvement from level 1, where we only got 100 to 300 megabytes per second. This is almost double the speed. Let's move on to level 3. This is not interesting just for Mac, but also if you're shooting on an iPhone, this is a fantastic thing for you. Basically what this is a little enclosure for an SSD. We can pop this open just like that, and inside you've got a tiny little SSD. So if you want to shoot ProRes RAW with your iPhone 17 Pro, then you might need one of those, and it can be very, very inexpensive. This here is 2 terabyte model, if I'm not mistaken, and all we have to do is plug it into there. Access. Interestingly, it's not quite coming up. I'm not exactly sure why this one is not working, but the good thing is I do have another one of those enclosures, which is even smaller. Look at this one. How tiny and cute is this? I'm gonna plug the same thing into there. Okay, and there we go, it's working. I don't know why that wasn't. The same principle applies, works with the iPhone. So once we're in there, let's see if we can access this. In terms of writing speeds now, look at that. We are writing about 1 gigabytes per second files onto this there. That is impressive. As you can see, we're more than double the speed from level 2. So level 3, we're getting 1 gigabytes per second, which is insane speeds. It can be super small if wanted to, and if you're shooting on an iPhone, that is a huge cheap upgrade how to shoot very high quality video and then store it in there. The downside is it's only got up to 2 terabytes of storage. So if you need more than that, we're gonna have to move to level 4. Level 4 is basically very similar to level 3, but now we can install larger drives. So what we're gonna have here is Samsung 990 Pro 1 terabyte if you want to pick it up. I'm gonna leave the link in the description below. And this can go up to 8 terabytes in size, which is a lot more affordable than what Apple offers. But now I'm gonna show you the rest of the levels with just this drive, so you know that it's not to do with the drive, but it's to do with the actual enclosure. What you really do is just put the lid back on and then shut it in there. I'll leave it open, just gonna push that in there, and there we go. Allow. As you can see, 99 Pro 1 terabyte, and if we press paste, look at again, we're getting the same around 1 gigabytes per second write speeds onto this drive, which is pretty impressive. So now we can get up to 8 terabytes in size because we're not limited to the very small. And if you wanted to, you can still use this with your iPhone or Mac. And this works backwards compatible all the way to the M1 MacBook Air. You're gonna get the same speeds on all of them. Now, level 5 is this. It's very similar to level 3, but the only difference is that instead of supporting 1 gigabytes per second, we can get a lot faster speeds. This over here is USB 4 or Thunderbolt 4 drive and supports up to 40 gigabits per second. That can be confusing, but let's test how fast it actually is. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take exactly the same drive, the Samsung 990 Pro. We're gonna pop it in there. And we're just gonna leave it open because might as well. Obviously, when you're getting it, plug it nicely in and put the heatsink back on, but we're just gonna plug it in there. Samsung 990 Pro, it's already there. The same files. We're gonna press paste now, resume, and look at the speeds now. We are writing 3.5 gigabytes per second. That is pretty crazy. And that was done. Do you know how big the file was? This was 82 gigabytes. That was it. It was real-time copying of it. Look at that. I'm just gonna delete it and I'm gonna just paste it in there again. Look how fast it takes. This is real time. Boom. Now, the impressive thing is if you want external storage, that is also good for video editing, photo editing, or some large files that can't fit inside the actual computer. This is a fantastic option, and I'll leave the link for this in the description below. But we don't stop there. There is next level available. For level 6, we have upgraded Thunderbolt 5 SSD enclosure. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger because it's more powerful, you need a little bit more cooling. I already had a drive in there, so I'll just take it out. And we're gonna test it exactly the same way. We're gonna put the same drive in, okay? And now plug it in. Bear in mind now you have to use the included cable because it's Thunderbolt 5. We're gonna copy the same files. As you can see, it's there. I'm just gonna delete it. It's gonna go fast now. So let me just press paste. Take a look at the speeds now. 6.2 gigabytes per second. That was absolutely insane. For some reason it dropped down just because probably there's smaller files, so it needs to read and write them everywhere and put it there. But we can get up to 7,000 megabytes per second, which is absolutely insane. I might have reached the SLC cache buffer on that drive, which basically means that the initial drive capacity is very, very fast, but when it reaches 300 something gigabytes per second, then it starts to slow down. As you can see, we are now slow. So if I go paste again, yeah, it only goes 2 gigabytes per second. For that reason, you might want to opt to this Western Digital SN850X drive, because the SLC buffer is a lot bigger on this one than on the Samsung drive. It's hugely different. So basically, if you're transferring large amounts of files, but right now we just kind of copied more than 300 gigabytes or something like that multiple times, which that fills up, which is very interesting. Now with the WD SN850X, I'll leave this in the description below as well. That buffer is a lot bigger, which means that there we go. You will get the initial fast speeds a lot longer. But if you don't transfer 300 gigabytes per second very, very fast, because if I do this test again in about 10-15 minutes, which I can show you later on in the video, we should be getting the 7,000 megabytes per second speeds again. Now, the massive upside for this is that now we can get as fast of a speed outside than on the inside. Apple's internal SSD speeds are very, very much equivalent to this one in here, and it's so much more affordable. You can get 8 terabytes of size, connect it up, that's it. The only downside is you need Thunderbolt 5 connection. There are only M4 Pro and M4 Max right now at the moment that support Thunderbolt 5. If I took this drive and connected to the M1 Max or M3 MacBook Air, for example, then I would only get Thunderbolt 4, so kind of the level 5 storage rather than level 6. So bear that in mind, but you can get super, super fast storage options with this. Now let's talk about level 8 storage, which is also our video sponsor for this video, but you've got to know there's some huge benefits for going to level 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to show you how this works at first, and then tell you about some of the upsides and downsides of level 7 storage. So what we have here is the UGREEN 2-bay NAS. This is the DH2300, and it's a fantastic entry point if you want to get started with a NAS. It's very simple to use, and I'll show you that in a minute. If you want to check it out, I'm going to leave the links in the description below so you can get it for yourself. So as you saw in the beginning, I've got it set up over there, and I have been connected wirelessly. So I'm just using Wi-Fi. So that NAS is connected to my router, and I can access it over here. If you don't know how to do that, all you have to do is type in on your browser, find UG NAS. And as you can see, it's found this NAS, which we have set up over there already. We're just going to press connect, and it's going to take it into here. When you set up the NAS, you'll be given option to create a username and password. So I've done that already. So now I can log into our NAS. So basically, this looks like just like a web browser, and you're thinking, yeah, what's going on in here? This is how you connect the NAS. You can create folders. I've created a shared folder that I can access later. I'm going to create another one just so you see. Create a new shared folder. We're going to call it test2. We're going to use volume 1 and then create. I am the admin. I'm going to give all the access to there. There we go. And also, if we go to the storage folder in here, we can overview the storage. We can take a look at what's our hard drives like. We go to the storage, we can see that I've created volume 1 pool, which is RAID 1, which means that I've got 2 hard drives in there, but one of them can fail. And I'll talk about in a minute why this is good, but I still have the storage. I'm not gonna lose any of the data, boom. So altogether, I've got 3.5 terabytes, as you can see this in there. When you initially setting this up, it's gonna start to build the RAID system. So basically the redundancy system between the 2 drives. So kind of the data is intertwined, so one of them can fail and then the other one's still there. As you can see, it's 15.5%. It's still kind of building it, but I can still show you how this is working. So 2 of the hard drives, they're working, everything is fine there. So this is how you access it on the web. But you might be thinking, but what about like actually checking my files in there? You can just check it on the web if you wanted to and access these files in there. But let's go back to our Finder. If you're in here, I've got other NASs already there connected into the here connected. But if you want to connect yours, we're going to go to control panel in here, device connection. When you go file service, you can see how to use under this here. So control panel file service, you can see to Mac Finder access, all we have to do is SMB, type in the name of our drive. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this. Okay, it's copied. Then we're going to go back to our Finder, click Command and K, which means connect to a server. If you don't know how to do that, we can also do go and then connect to server. As you can see, it's obviously grayed out because I've already got it there. We're going to paste this SMB DH2300 4TB. So that's the name I've put to this. We're going to connect. As you can see, it says, ooh, you want to connect to the server, which is our NAS just over there. And we're going to type in here the same username and password that I created earlier. We're going to remember this in the password keychain, so the next time when you try to connect to it, it doesn't ask for this again, we just can connect. And when we press connect, it's asked which drive would you like to mount, like one of these, which one of these you want to mount onto your system, because the different folders can be accessed differently, but we'll just mount the whole drive and all of the folders inside there. And as you can see now, I can access it on the side here. Remember, we created the test2 folder. Voila, there it is. The personal folder or this one there, we can access them all. So if you go to the test2, as you can see, it's pretty snappy. Let's try again to see how fast this is. Now, this is connecting wirelessly to it. And I think this is Wi-Fi 6 that I have in here. So let's see how fast this is. Okay, we're going to paste this. Let's take a look. Look at that. We're getting 60 to 125 megabytes per second transfer speeds. Do you remember the speeds you were getting via this? Basically, we're getting the same speeds now, but wirelessly. That is pretty impressive. Now, this is not particularly fast NAS because it's only got 1 gigabit connection in the back of the NAS where I've connected it, and that is the bottleneck because those drives inside there can actually go faster than this. But the thing is, this NAS is not just about speed. You can get its speed, and UGREEN has much faster and much more expensive NASs where you can get super fast speeds as well and get to level 2 and 3 even kind of speed with this. And if you want to check it out, I'm going to leave some of the faster ones in there as well. But if NAS thing is completely new to you, let me explain some of the benefits why having a NAS as level 8 storage is a huge benefit for you and actually saves money if you're going with this. So number one that I already mentioned is redundancy of the drives and the protection of your data. So having this one, because there's 2 drives inside there, if one of them fails, it's completely fine. All you have to do is buy another one, swap it out, pop it in there. It automatically backs it up again, restores all your data. You're not going to lose any of the data. If the drive breaks on any of the other levels of storage, 1 to 6, your data is gone. You cannot get it back, and that's it. If that's important to you, going for level 8 is a huge benefit. Number 2 is multiple devices can access the storage at the same time. If I have a phone in here, for example, UGREEN NAS app in there, and let me just scan this here. I have to connect to the same. As you can see, my phone finds the NAS as well. We're going to log in like before. It's going to tell you how I can access this as blah, 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 blah. But now, as you can see, we're already loading some stuff on it. If I go to files, different folders, but I'm going to go to the test folder too. Oh, it's already loading some files into there. I'm going to go to the DH2300 folder. I'm going to press plus. I'm going to make a new folder. Call it Pixel 8 Pro. There we go. And I'm going to add some files onto it. Upload a picture. Let's upload this picture of the car. Confirm. And as you can see, it's already there. So let's check if it is there. So if we go back to here, we're going to go back to our DH2300. We're going to go to that folder. You can see Pixel 8 Pro. We did that folder in there. Camera. Let's just press space. And voila, there is the BYD seal. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out Cars for Mars. Links in the description below. Now, what's cool about this is because you can connect to it with multiple devices, you can easily back up all your photos from your phone wirelessly to your local storage. Whether you are on Android, Mac, Windows, all the devices can connect to it at the same time. Number 3, you can connect to it wirelessly. There's no wires dangling from my laptop or from my phone. I'm connected to it wirelessly. Number 4, no monthly fees. I don't have to pay for cloud storage. If you've got iCloud, Google Drive, OneDrive, whatever solution you're using, you've got monthly storage option. This time, no, we just pay for it once. That's it, it's yours forever. There's never gonna be any monthly fees. Number 5, security. If you want to protect your files, none of these really have encryption on it or any data protection, whereas this NAS has multiple levels of encryption in there. So if you want two-factor authentication, that's what you can do with this, but none of the other levels. Number 6, you can stream your video library from it via the HDMI port. If you remember from the B-roll, this HDMI port, you can connect that to your TV and then just stream all your files that you have. You know the DVD collection that you want to get rid of? Rip all of those DVDs, put them on your NAS, and then you can access them all wirelessly from there and play it directly from there, even with multiple devices if you wanted to. Number 7, you can access that data anywhere. In fact, I can go and connect to it at home in a different country. I can access those files. Ever been in a place where you're like, oh my goodness, I left my files at home? Boom, now you have private access to all of these. And number 8, it's faster than cloud storage because you can connect to it locally. You don't have to connect to the cloud and then download them back. You can connect them locally, which is absolutely amazing. So as you can see, it's copied all the files over here as well. So all of the files of the 68 gigabytes or whatever, they're all copied over in here. So we can take a look and have a look at these. This is very hard to play back, but there we go. It's connecting and playing this back wirelessly. This is very hard footage to play back. Let's take a look at this back. Wirelessly playing back 8K footage. And as you can see, completely no problem whatsoever. Now you might be thinking, NAS, oh, it's so complicated, I don't know what to do. Honestly, it isn't. And UGREEN has made it so simple with this one as well. I've tested one of their older ones, but the software has updated so much since then. And the process of getting things started, it is really, really simple. All you have to do is just kind of follow the instructions. You just go next step and it tells you like what to do. Everything's very well organized. I am loving it. I'm a big fan of NAS. We're using multiples in here, and it's really nice to see that there's more entry points to get it started in here. So which one of these levels is the best one for you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me know in the comment section below. If you want to check it out, I'm going to leave this NAS and everything that I talked about in the video description below, so it's easy for you to find and then get the right level of storage. So you wouldn't have to pay Apple's own storage. But if you're a Windows guy and you've got to this point and you're wondering, what about me? All of these storage options also work on Windows. So another reason to go find them out in the video description below. Thanks UGREEN for partnering up on this video so we can educate the viewers and show them that there's a multiple different layers of storage options available, and they can pick the one that's the best for them in terms of the speed and pricing needs. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.